I've worked hard these last 4 months. I mean, pedal to the metal, just been grinding, taking a leap of faith and just going for it and not looking back. And now it's starting to pay off. So I'll come out here, clear my head, kind of clear the schedule for the rest of the day because I got a pretty unique decision I have to make, and I don't know why. It's a great thing. Many people would be very fortunate to be in the position I'm in, but I don't know why I always find myself in these tough life decisions, man. I got two opportunities here that are really cool, and the sky is the limit with both of them. And I'm not 100% sure if they're mutually exclusive or not. The conversation's been brought up, and I know I have all the data that I need. I just and ultimately the decision's up to me. Both parties realize that it's my decision. It's up to me. So what I have to do is take into account of what I'm looking to do with my life, with whatever thing I have going on. What is it I want Nick to do? What is it I see Nick doing? What is it Nick wants to do more so? But at the same time, I can see both. So what makes it so difficult is I can see both sides, right? I can see this side over here and that side. I can see them both playing out, and I can see them both playing out well, and I can see them both playing out not so well, because that's how I judge things. I go best case scenario, worst case scenario. So that's what I'm doing with both of these scenarios, and then kind of trying to fit in all the gray areas in there too, just kind of discussing that in my mind about what that actually looks like. So I don't know, I'm at a loss here. I'm just kind of out, walking, collecting my thoughts, and just kind of trying to unplug a little bit, because, this is a pivotal moment. I've talked about that previously, but I don't know if I've gone into great detail about how I got through that. It's the process of it. It's the journey. It's the things that that's what happens to me. I get off on so many different things that I, have often. At times I find myself at this crossroads where, the opportunities coming up are, colliding with another one, and, you're having to make a decision between two awesome situations and two awesome opportunities. So, that's tough. And, one of the things that's been really chewing on right now is, the best decisions is the one that gives you the most options. So I'm really toying around with that question and trying to, determine how to go about this. So, this fucking dog, move. So I'm trying to figure it out. It's tough. I'm just trying to, get my, thoughts, vomit my thoughts out and try to organize them in the best way possible. But long game, it's the end game. That's what I'm looking at right now. It's what I see myself doing. What do I see myself becoming? Who do I want Nick to be? Who is Nick? What's organic to Nick? What makes Nick happy? What's gonna tell Nick's story the best? What is my journey? So it's a lot of thought, a lot of prayers going into this. I'll be racking my brain for the next probably 48 hours. Thursday today, I'll probably have a decision made by this weekend, and then Monday we can roll forward in the direction that we need to go. So it's a little ways down the road. But I feel like I need to make the decision here pretty quickly. And it's funny because I actually had some of these things that come up. They were on my vision board. Both of them were. So that's why I asked the question, are they mutually exclusive? And I don't think they are, but they very well could be to the other parties. So it's tough, man. It's a tough decision, but this is not a bitch. This is not a complaint, because I know there's a ton of people that would love to be in this situation I find myself in right now. So it's a tremendous blessing, and it's one of the biggest affirmations that I have, is that I'm putting myself in these situations to grow and improve, and these opportunities are opening up for me. So I've worked hard these last 4 months. I mean, pedal to the metal, just been grinding, taking a leap of faith and just going for it and not looking back. And now it's starting to pay off. It's paying off so much now that I'm having to differentiate, what avenues I want to go and try to pick and choose. So it's great to have options for sure, and I'm very blessed to do that, and I'm excited. It's just, that's one thing about success is they didn't tell you about the tough decisions that you have to make. It's not always so black and white. It's like, oh, this is easy, this is hard, you need to do this. It's like, man, both of them are awesome, and I went through something similar to this last year, and I kind of talked about that, but not to the extent that I'm now doing the daily stuff. But yeah, so you got to take inventory. I kind of cleared the schedule for today, so today's gonna be a pretty chill day. Had a meeting today to kind of clarify some things this morning down in San Diego, and now I'm back in Murrieta, which I like. It's nice and quiet out here. I can kind of collect my thoughts and think, and just I may just pull out the whole whiteboard and do the pros and cons. I may do something like that just to kind of get a general sense of it. Just because, without being too cliche here, this is one of the toughest decisions that I'll ever have to make, and I know for a fact that it will affect my future 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, one way or another, for good or for bad. And both of them could pan out and be awesome. Both of them could, crash and burn. So that's just the risk you take. So I'm not adverse to risk. I am just wanting to make the best decision for me at this point in time. And honestly, whichever route I go, it's going to be incredibly crazy to tell people that I turned down the position. So whichever route it goes, the position that I turned down is going to be one where I'm standing up on stage one day and telling people, and they're like, how in the fuck did you do that? So just the thought of that process is crazy to me. And honestly, that's kind of one of my markers to make a decision here is which one's crazier to tell people that I turned down. That's just one of the markers. Obviously, I want to make sure it's best for me and my brand and what I've built so far. I want to stay true to who I am and my story, and just be obedient to the calling. Okay, so it's a really good time for me to kind of be still, get quiet, and do some real thinking. So that's what today's all about. So it won't be as fun as a video blog to follow today probably, but hopefully it had some value and it lets you just take a dive into my life and just really get to feel about the struggles, because they tell you about all the bad things that are happening, but they never tell you about the things that make it tough, the good things that make it tough. Right now, a lot going through my mind and thinking about 100 different things, and I'm thinking about the future, I'm thinking about the right now, I'm thinking about 2 weeks from now, I'm thinking about 2 years from now, I'm thinking about 10 years from now, and it's all just a big blur going down in my head. I'm not sure how to handle it all from option A, but at the same time that option could limit me from some other things that I really want to do. So big picture, I don't know. Big picture, I see them both playing out well. I ask the question, what's the patient game? What's the patient answer? What's the one that's going to help me long term? I know it's a big decision. I find myself in these situations quite a bit. So, it's a great opportunity. It's a hell yeah for me. I just want to make sure all the ducks are in a row, and I want to make sure. See, I'm thinking long term. I want to make sure that's done the proper way and the right way. And if I take this is what I'm afraid of. So I'm deathly afraid of. I take this opportunity, something big comes along, and it's a no-brainer. I can't turn it down. But I've committed to them. I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of commitment. When I commit, I'm all in. So if something else comes up immediately after this opportunity, I take this opportunity. Where do I go from there? That's what's tough. That's what I'm deathly afraid of. So at the same time, I've been working towards an opportunity like this. So it'd be definitely hard not to take this in and not to take it for what it's worth and not to see how this opportunity plays out. So I'm curious. I'm interested to see that. I don't think there's a bad decision here. I guess the question really becomes is, what will I be most disappointed in if I decide one way and it doesn't work out, you know? I think, I don't know if that's a sign. I don't know if I should just, punt that and go all in on this. I see it, it's business. I gotta take the personal side out of it, I think. I think I'm getting too romantic. I think I'm making it too personal for me. And I just need to execute and determine from a business standpoint, at this point in my immediate future, which one is the best route to go. I see myself on stage to get up there talking about turning down one of these opportunities, turning them down. It's like, how crazy was that I took this opportunity instead of this one. Both of them are risky. Both of them could not pay off. But both of them could pay off big time. So it's just one of those things that I'm going back and forth on. And, it's exciting. I'm very fortunate to be in the position I am. It's a tough decision, no doubt, but I'd rather have to make a tough decision between these two types of things versus, something that's not as exciting, or that's just kind of rattling around my thoughts and my process. We'll have to see how it plays out, I guess if you had to put a bullet to my head right now, I would take seems to be more in line with what my ultimate mission is. And that's the problem with having an open mind too, is that, I'm open to see where it goes, but ultimately I think I need to stick with that. It's very, very consistent and relatable to what I've already built. That's just how I have to process things. I want to make sure I make the right decision. And once I make the decision, I'm going for it. I'm not looking back. I'm not going to sit there and question it. So it turned out well for me once I made the decision to hop up and move out to Southern California. Things worked out for me. And I haven't looked back, haven't thought about what it'd be like to do other things to a serious extent. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I just need to, clear the mind and get some things together and move forward one way or another, and then not look back. So that's the goal. That's what we're going to try to make happen.